Hello, hey, welcome. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Now? We gotta go ahead and make sure everybody's up. Let me see. Why do courts soleil? Because the crime never stops. Crime doesn't sleep. They got such a high crime rate that if they didn't do courts 24/7 all day, every day, their court system would be bursting at the seams. Let me see. I don't even gotta see them denied. All right, imagine how long court would that? Man, you'll be waiting for courts for months. I guess according to from what I hear, I don't know because I've never read the law or whatever. But in Arizona, you have to be seen within, I think, 24 hours. But most say that you end up in front of the judge within 3 hours from the time of your arrest. So I mean, I'm not from Arizona. I'm not sure how it works. But if you're from Arizona, I'm pretty sure you could confirm or deny these allegations I just made. Let me see. Imagine. Let me see. Imagine how long court would take if they did one first appearance once a day. Sheesh. You'd be like LA County. You'd be having to wait for like 3 days before you go in front of the judge. Damn, that's fast. I didn't feel like Cali goes that fast, right? But then again, hey, in Pima County and Maricopa County, man, they got nothing but DVs, nothing but shoplifters at Target, Walmart, Circle K, and all major gasoline stations, if you will. So I can see the numbers. They got to keep them moving.
I'll use the case cards.
Do you ever go live with ex-officers? Nah, I haven't.
Print double of everything.
Hey, why do they have 3 cops today? They're only deep today.
What's the case card?
Case card, or whatever you guys have. Their paperwork that you know is just that.
Yeah, I know this.
I don't know what you guys call it.
The door cards?
That.
What do you need?
Let me see here. AZ here is yes, it's true. They have to see a judge within 24 hours, or they legally have to be released.
I know what you're saying.
Are they not in order? Are they going to be in order or not these?
Thank you, Osito Panda.
But like I said, it malfunctioned.
Cupcake.
So it was like printing the double of everything. And the way it did it, it like did the beginning people again somehow.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I think that happened last time I was in here. I'm on first shift though, and I think the 2 p.m. docket was messed up.
Messed
like
up, you
2
say?
weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little slow, so it's going to be a while before we get to anything, okay?
No bail. Damn, AZ ain't messing around. Hopefully everybody can see. And if you can't see, open your eyes. Hey, what up, Taurus? Welcome back. Do you have a collect call from? And we gotta go ahead and do one of these to make sure everybody's
They're
up.
mean to you.
You know my partner?
Who's your partner? Is that like,
You know, nice and early for the rooster to start roosting. He says she's a little slow. Hey, so earlier on, when I was on, somebody was like, hey, James, you should be a comedian. You're funny. So I went to tell my lady, I was like, hey, they told me I should be a comedian, eh? And she was like, you're not funny. Don't quit your day job. They're lying to you. I don't know why she was like, I don't know why they're lying to you, but you're not funny. You know, like, man, you really got to wreck somebody's day. I was all happy and everything. Let me see. Turkey Head in the UK, in the UK, 24 hours to go to court, and unless it's a weekend, you're in the police station all weekend. She was like, hell nah. Let me see. I was just almost asleep. When I see you online, I woke up, quit. I don't like missing these. Marie, man, I'm telling her, man, she's like, I don't know what's up with her. She be playing, she be hating on the essay. I don't know why. Hey, country girl, thank you for the like, highly appreciate it. And remember, hey, the likes and the taps are free. Don't be a Scrooge McDuck. Don't be a Mr. Krabby Patty. Just tap them screens. If you don't want to tap, buy one of those little gadgets that you know on the TikTok shop. You just bam, you put it on your screen and it taps for you. You know, you're not gonna be tapping with one finger or 2 fingers. country
You may
going
be
on.
seated.
So, hey, so listen up, pay attention.
Is the interpreter on?
The interpreter's not on yet, I emailed them right now.
Órale, cabrón.
Are we using the court interpreter or language line?
It needs to be a court interpreter.
Good evening. This is the time set for the 5 p.m. initial appearance calendar for April 2nd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the 1st of this month will apply to all matters on this calendar. I'm going to be calling each of you up to the podium one by one, where I will ask you for your first and last name and your date of birth. I will then advise you as to why you were here, whether or not an attorney has been appointed to you, what your upcoming court dates are, what your bond is if you are eligible for bond, and what your release conditions are. Some of you may have questions while I'm providing this advisement to you. I just ask that you hold your questions until I complete the advisement. In addition, your questions should only be related to release conditions and not your case. So with that being said, the first person that I am calling to the podium is Miracle Mitchell. And Mr. Dawkins, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
That's right, Abby H3, bro. All right, up next.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Miracle Mitchell, 5297.
Thank you. You're here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, impeding breathing, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on April 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on April 10th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. If you are able to post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the, you cannot have any contact with the alleged victim. You cannot possess any weapons. And if there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that are issued, you have to comply with those orders. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the residence. You are permitted one civil standby to retrieve your essential belongings. You are cautioned that if you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court date will result in any bond that you posted being forfeited. A warrant will issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. That completes everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Okay, do I get like an attorney today or no?
I've appointed one to you, so you'll have an attorney by the time you go to your next court date.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hey, so she was there. I
Mr.
heard
Dawkins,
impeding.
can you please come into the courtroom?
I heard impeding breathing. So I would assume that she was fixating somebody. She was probably like busting a Homer Simpson. And,
Okay.
we didn't
Hello,
have
sir.
it.
Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
It's Ian Michael Taylor, 31390. I don't know why they still have me as Dawkins. I explained it when I came in that my name's not Dawkins, it's Taylor. And they keep putting it on the documents and stuff. I came from Pima County under the name Taylor too, so I don't know what the confusion is.
Did you ever give the name of Taylor at any point in time?
Yeah, in 2006 when I was a minor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So were you adopted or something?
Yeah, and but I was here in December of last year, and it came under Taylor, so that's why I'm confused.
So
This case is under Taylor.
this case is not under Taylor. I'm looking at the warrant that was issued.
Oh, I don't know why.
So you're here because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for a court date, and that warrant is in the name of Dawkins.
I don't know why they changed it. When I showed up to court, it was under Taylor.
No, I took like a 3-hour break. I got off like at 1:50, so like 3-hour break, 3 hours and some change. No, I had already been on for like almost 8 hours.
I'm not sure what you're talking about when you went to court, because I'm looking at this. The minute entry issued, a warrant was issued for your.
Yeah, I missed the last court date in February, but I made the January
Okay.
because I was in Pima County Jail.
It keeps my
That's
mind
why I
going.
missed the last court date.
I know you'll be on for a long time. Yeah.
Okay, well, you'll have to sort out the last name later because I'm looking at all the court documentation and everything has your last name as Dawkins.
Okay.
So anyhow, you are here today because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for your court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in, this is not right, hold on a second.
Hey, what up, Brian? How's it going?
Okay, so a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for your court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You have a status conference hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $75,000 per the warrant. If you are able to post bond and you fail to, if you're able to post bond, you must appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, any bond that you posted would be forfeited. Another warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. So that takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no other questions for me, if you will step to the left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Do you know why my bond was raised?
Because you're a criminal.
It looks like the nature of the hearing that you were supposed to, when I was looking at the docket, it looks like you were supposed to be at a very, it looks like maybe you're supposed to be at trial?
March 13th, they had dropped it from 75 to 10.
Well, the judge who issued this warrant, that's what the warrant says.
Mm-hmm.
What's your time zone?
And that's what he ordered, $75,000. So I don't know why he issued that, but it looks like you were getting close to coming to trial or something. So that's what it is.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the interpreter now, Giselle?
Yes.
Eastern,
If you'll step to your left, thank you.
You're living in the future too.
Is the interpreter able to hear the court?
Yes.
Man, we're gonna get the
This is the interpreter.
Chingators.
Okay, so I'm going to call the individual now who requires your services. Mr. Daniel Mustafari, will you please come into the courtroom?
8:08 a.m. in
Daniel Safari.
Is it 8:08?
Unaweza ukaja kwenye ndani ya mahakama kwenye chumba.
What did he just say? Zumba? Que se iba a poner una gran zumba?
Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Mwambie majina yako, yako mawili. Umwambie
I can't translate this for you guys.
Mawili, na umwambie mwaka gani na mwezi na tarehe umezaliwa iko.
What up, K? LA.
Ndio. Jina langu Daniel Msafiri.
My name is Daniel Msafiri.
Nimezaliwa mwezi wa kwanza tarehe 1 mwaka wa 1990.
Born on January 1st, 1990.
1990, all right.
Sir, you are here today on a new case.
Hey, what up, Adria? Thank you for
Uko hapa leo kwa ajili ya matatizo mapya.
Boy, you put in a double shift.
Ndio.
Somebody has to do it.
Yes.
You were charged with
I gotta stay ahead of the curve.
2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia.
Unashutumiwa kuwa walikukuta uko na madawa ya kulevya, zile wanaita drug.
A class 6 felony.
What up, James?
Ni makosa makubwa ya mwai nchi yako katika kitengo cha 6 cha felony.
I did find probable cause as to both counts.
Nimekuta kabisa kuna vithibitisho vyenye vinaonyesha kuwa walikukuta na madawa ya kulevya.
Now I know what you guys feel when
I did
they're
appoint
talking
an attorney
Spanish,
to represent you.
and you guys don't understand.
Nimekutafutia avoka au msaidizi wa kukusaidia kwenye kesi hii.
You will have a status conference hearing on April 17th at 8:30.
Tarehe 17 mwezi wa 4 saa 2:30 patakuwa kikao hapo mahakamani. Unapaswa kufika na avoka wako au msaidizi wako atakuwa pale.
I went back today.
And you will have a preliminary hearing on April 21st at 8:30.
Alafu tarehe 21 ya mwezi wa 4 saa 2:30 asubuhi patakuwa sasa kusikilizwa na mahakama.
Ndio.
I am going to release you on your own recognizance.
Pinche.
Nitaenda kukuachilia uende nyumbani,
Ndio, asante.
But you do have to promise to appear for your court date.
I gotta clip it. I gotta clip that video.
lakini unapashwa kuja wakati mahakama yanakuhitaji kwa hizo tarehe zote.
Ndio.
Do you promise to
Yes.
appear for your court date?
Unaapa kiapo kama ni lazima ukuje katika hizo siku zote mahakama yanakuhitaji?
Ndio.
Yes.
Failure to appear for your court date or to comply with your release conditions will result in a warrant issuing for your arrest.
Ikiwa utashindwa kuja mahakamani, basi nitatoa ruhusa mahali pote utakuwa, polisi takukamata, wakubebe, kukufunga.
Ndio.
And a bond being imposed.
Na tena hatutakuweza kukuachilia kwa hiyo wakati, ni mpaka
I'ma
ulipe
say-
pesa, wanaita bonds.
The language comes from the continent of Africa.
Do you understand?
Yes. Unaelewa?
I can't narrow it down.
Yes.
That's as far as I could get you
Okay,
right there.
if you have, that completes my advisement for you.
Your Honor, would you repeat?
That completes my
Creole, I don't
advisement
think
to
that's
you.
Creole. Well, not
Namaliza
that I
venye
know how to
nimepata
speak Creole,
kukwambia.
but
If you have no questions for me,
hey, country girl.
Na kama hauna swali la
Hey,
kuniuliza.
that's not the first time they've said my name.
Ndio, niko na swali.
One time they kicked me
Yes,
out
I
of
have
a
a
parole
question.
hearing, and they said my name right
Okay.
before they kicked me out.
Uliza.
Swali ni kidogo
Jamaican?
juu ya siku nilifungiwa,
I don't think that's
nilikuwa niko
Jamaican.
na simu. Simu ndio ilikuwa inanisaidia juu ya kuongea na
Well, that's
hata
not the
vile
way I
warafiki,
imagine
alafu
somebody speaking
wakasema
Jamaican.
niache, yule polisi akasema niache
Yes, I
hapo.
remember that.
Na ndio leo ndio nilikuwa naenda kusema niulize kama simu iko wapi, alafu ndio polisi
I did
akanikuta
it. Oh, the
akanikuta
one
hapo
from
na
the other day, from
akanifunga,
yesterday?
akasema niko na madawa za kulevya.
This is
Sina-
taking too
sina-
long.
Sina madawa.
Patience, grasshopper,
Nilikuwa nataka tu
patience.
simu peke yake.
Mr. Interpreter, before you tell me what he
It's
said,
African.
his question should only be related to release conditions, and from that lengthy statement, I believe that he is going to be
And
referencing
in Jamaican don't sound like, yeah.
something that may have
That's
occurred with
what I'm
his case, and I
thinking.
cannot
It don't
answer those questions.
It don't sound like Miss Cleo.
Ndogo, jaji anasema swali lako linapaswa kuwa swali
Call me
linaenda
now.
sambamba na mambo ya kukuachilia ili uende nyumbani, lakini swali la
Asante.
kujitetea,
Maybe Ghana.
basi ulipewa msaidizi wa kesi hii au avoka mwenye
What up,
atakusaidia uweze kuuliza mambo yako wakati utakuwa kuwa na avoka. Usiulize swali la kujitetea hapa.
What up, Samantha?
Ndio, asante.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Hey, and it's definitely not South African
Unaweza ukakuja uko mbele penye pako hao wadada au watu wenye
because they don't
wanaandika
speak
kwenye
like Chappie,
kompyuta,
if you
watakupatia
will, or
makaratasi
District
fulani
12 or
ili
District
uweze
9,
kutia
if you will.
sahihi pale, alafu
For those of you that know who
Alafu
Chappie
win.
is or District 9, you guys know what I'm talking
Ms.
about.
Lee, will you please come into the courtroom?
What
And
up,
Ms.
Lord?
Sugar, will you please have a seat in the chair?
And it's definitely not Swahili because I didn't hear them say Kisu.
Oh, Mr. Interpreter, you may be excused. Thank you.
okay, you welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
Jamaican, writes Crystal. They don't speak French or something.
Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
January 1st, 1999, Dejanique Lee.
You are
Damn, she
here
looks
today
young.
on two matters. You have one new case and one violation of probation. I'm going to first talk to you about your new case. You were charged with one count of aggravated assault, impeding breathing, a
Oh.
Class 4 felony.
Ah,
I
wow.
did find probable
Drop one,
cause.
flush one.
I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on April 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on April 10th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim. You cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that have been issued, you must comply with those orders.
What did she say her birthday was? Did anybody
You
catch
cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the residence. You are permitted when civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court dates would result in any bond that you post being forfeited, a warrant issuing for your arrest, and additional bond being imposed. That concludes my advisement to you. If you have no questions for me, if you will step to the left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I got a daughter.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you about your violation of probation. My apologies.
Just turned 27.
You
and she looks
also have
super
a
young,
violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a violation of probation, potential disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. So between your two cases, you have a total secured appearance bond of $10,250. You do need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release if you're able to post bond as well. So now that takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. Thank you. If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Ms. Sugar, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Smith, will you please have a seat in the chair?
This judge is really messing up my mojo.
Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Brittany Renee Sugar, 12/26/91.
You are here today because you have three violations of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in all three matters. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. Your first warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. Your second warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. And your third one has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. So your total bond between the three cases is $1,850. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, any bond that you post will be forfeited, a warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that I have to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Mr. Smith, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Fela, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Thank you for sharing the stream. Highly appreciate it.
Hello, sir. Will you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Richard Dennis Smith, 11/27/75.
What up, Keith?
You are here today because you have two matters. You have one warrant for failing to appear for your court date, and then you have one violation of probation. As to your matter, your warrant for failing to appear for a court date, this isn't, I have to fix this one, Giselle.
This one ain't going nowhere. And if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99.
Okay, I just made the correction. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter.
Yes.
You do have a status conference hearing on April 8th at 8:30, and that warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. And then as to your violation of probation, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. So between your two cases, you have a total secured appearance bond in the amount of $3,000. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear, any bond that you post would be forfeited. A warrant would be issued for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. That takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, you can just go ahead and have a seat. They'll bring the corrected orders into you.
Okay, thank
you.
Hey, he's catching cases like catching
Mr.
Pokemon. You gotta
Zelaya,
catch
if you'll
them all.
please come into the courtroom. And Mr. Romero, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
He looked confused.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Zelaya, 9579.
Thank you. You are here today because you have 3 matters. I believe they are all violations of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in all 3 matters. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. Your first warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. Your second one has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. And your last one has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. So between all 3 cases, your secured appearance bond is $1,250. If you are able to postpone, it is important that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear for your court date, any bond that you post would be forfeited, a warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that I need to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Romero, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Reed, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
You know what? Sometimes people can't stop. They don't know how to stop. That's all they know.
Hello.
Yeah, he looks
Can
rough.
you state your first and last name and your date of birth for me?
Joey Romero Jr., 1138-7.
You are here today because you have a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. If you're able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, any bond that you post would be forfeited, another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. So that takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of. If you will please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Is there any way I can be OR'd? I was working with my Phoenix Rescue Mission coordinator to get into the Phoenix Rescue Mission because I'm homeless, I have no phone, that's why I couldn't check in with my PO. But I'm supposed to be finding out if I can get in. Is there any way you could please help me out?
So I did go and review the notes to see what was going on with your case, and part of the issue is that you had not, probation has not been able to establish contact with you, and they haven't been able to establish contact with you for some time.
I'm working on changing that. That's the whole reason I'm trying to get into the Phoenix Rescue Mission, is to change my whole situation.
This is not my order. This is the judge's order that's assigned to the probation violation court. And so that judge believed that a $100 bond was appropriate given the information that was presented to them. And the judge was aware that you were homeless. But it also indicates that probation had been trying to find you in places where you're generally known to be.
Well, I moved from that area. I moved away from all that stuff that I was doing out there. I moved closer to this side to be near the Phoenix Rescue Mission because I'm trying to get in there.
Well, how did he move if he doesn't live anywhere?
And I was literally just here 2 weeks ago. I've been sober ever since. I've just been working on trying to get into the Phoenix Rescue Mission.
And how did he move if he doesn't have a vehicle? Would be my next question. It makes you wonder.
Well, it looks like this is kind of I'm not going to change it. I'm looking at the notes, and I think you need to just take care of what you need to take care of, because what my concern is that I believe you mean what you say when you're in front of me right now, but if I release you OR, you probably will not show up to court because that's what your history is showing.
Yeah.
And you need to take care of this. Once you get this taken care of, you already have a plan. But get this taken care of, and then you can go to the Phoenix Mission, and you'll have your legal issues resolved, and perhaps you will do better on probation and not get and not have petitions to revoke filed anymore. But this stuff doesn't just go away if you don't show up.
I know it doesn't, ma'am. I'm really trying really hard.
I understand. I'm not doubting that you are, and I'm not even doubting the sincerity of what you're saying right now. But my concern is I have to go by the pattern of what I'm seeing.
He got
And
priors.
You can't give me a chance.
I
this
can't,
one
but
time?
you got a chance the last time. The issue was that you didn't report to probation within 72 hours
I
when you were
don't have
released
the
the last
phone,
time.
man. Like, that's why I'm
Judge
trying to get in
doesn't have a
somewhere.
So I think that we're done talking now. I'm not going to change the order.
Gord! Yeah,
Ms. Reed, will you please come into the courtroom?
like they did the other
And
guy
Mr. Fink,
earlier
will you
on.
please have a seat in the chair?
That was wild earlier on. That one dude from Orange County, when they pulled him to the back, or he went to the back. I'm making it a little
Hello,
more
can you
dramatic,
please
but he was
state your
screaming.
first and last name and your date of birth?
9/15/1992, Caitlin Lex Reed.
You are here today because you have a probation violation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter.
That's right.
You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you are able to post bond, you do need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear for your court date, any bond that you posted will be forfeited. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond to be imposed. If you have no questions for me, if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Is it possible you could reduce my bond a little
Does she have
bit?
teeth or no teeth?
Alright.
Is it all gums? Damn, she walked away before. Damn it. Did she have teeth
Mr.
or
Fink, will
was
you
it all
please come into
gums?
the courtroom?
Inquiring minds want to know. I heard it's called the gum.
Hello. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
David Fink, 4/16/1980.
You are here today because you have a warrant out of North Valley Justice Court.
Checking for our friend.
I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have an arraignment hearing on April 4th at 8:30. Your warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500.
Your Honor, I don't exactly know when this came about. I've been in prison since, for the past 6 years. I just got released May 10th of 2024. I just completed
So when
parole
did you-
March 9th.
When did you go into prison?
2017, 2018, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, if I remember correctly. I know it was a 6-year stint.
Okay, so if you can just go back into the room, I just need to have a moment to go look up everything.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll call you back in when I have an opportunity to do that.
Man, you know what? Everybody has an excuse. It's talk the same thing. All excuses. I don't have a
Ms.
phone.
Clardy,
I
if
don't
you
got
please
a
come to the
ride.
courtroom,
I don't
and
have
Mr.
a
Taminga,
job.
if you'll please
I
have a
don't
seat in
have
the
a
chair.
house. My mom is dying. My dad's dying. My little brother got hit by a car. Hey, we just hear it all right
Hello,
here.
ma'am. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Don't get me wrong, you know.
Clardy.
You are here today because you have 2 violations of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You do have a probation revocation, possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. On one of your warrants, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. And the other one is $250. So between the 2 cases, you have a total secured appearance bond in the amount of $350.
Hey, you got to upgrade that
If
excuse.
you're able to post bond, you do need to make sure you appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear, any bond that you post would be forfeited. A warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that I have to advise you of. If
You gotta tell the judge. Hey, thank you for that heart. The dog went into my phone and deleted my
Mr.
email
Taminga, will you please
confirmation
come into the
of my court
courtroom?
date.
And Ms. Hykins, will you please have a seat in the chair?
These freaking dogs are geniuses now. You know, with chat bot and
Sir,
all.
can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
My name is Eric Deluda. I was born on July 4, 94.
You are here today because you have a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you are able to post bond, you must appear for your court date. Failure to appear for your court date will result in any bond that you post being forfeited, a warrant issuing for your arrest, and additional bond being imposed. So that takes care of everything that I have to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, if you will step to the left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Hopefully that guy that was in earlier on in
Ms.
Orange County
Hykins,
comes
will you
in.
please
He
come
doesn't
into the
start complaining
courtroom?
that
And Mr. Galvin, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
I'm taking advantage of these people here. No owns up. Let me see. Dog ate my phone.
Well, can you please
Don't
state your
laugh,
first
my
and last
dog
name
ate
and
my
your date of
mom's
birth?
phone.
Jenna Sherrill Hykins, 3/10/1990.
¿Cómo es los días?
You are here today because you have a violation of probation, and then you have a warrant out of Central Penal Justice Court. I'm going to talk to you first about your violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are, let's go ahead and first talk, and then talk to you about your. Then as to your warrant, I appointed an attorney to represent you in that matter. You have an arraignment hearing on April 7th at 8:30.
Cook County, I see videos of that place. That's wild.
Warrant had a cash-only bond in the amount of $801.73.
What was that?
Having COVID.
Central Penal Justice Court.
Okay.
So,
Hey, you know what? I don't be committing crimes.
I'm so sorry. So between your two cases, you have a total of 1,000.
I don't think they did 60 days.
300 and.
But I don't know. I don't watch it all the time.
$1,301.73.
Thank you for the follow and the laugh.
If you post bond, failure to appear for your court dates would result in any bond that you post being forfeited, another warrant issuing for your arrest, and additional bond being imposed. So that takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of today.
My time was 40 years ago. Oh, snap. Damn. 40 years ago, people were
Mr. Galvin, if you'll please
people were
come to the
definitely getting raped up there 40 years
and
ago.
Mr. Wallace, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't serve a job on the street in my own mind.
Hello, Your Honor. How are you?
I am good. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yes, Mike Galvin, 10/11/96.
You were here today because a direct complaint was filed and you were charged with two counts of aggravated assault, a Class 6 felony. The date of the alleged offenses is October 3rd, 2024. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on April 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on April 10th at 8:30. The direct complaint had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50. It is a placeholder bond. You were brought here to take care of this through a order to secure the prisoner. So by imposing a bond, that would allow you to continue to accrue credit for your time while you're in our custody, because you will remain here until your matter is resolved. And once your matter is resolved, you'll be returned to DOC.
Okay.
So that takes care of everything that we have to talk about today.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Wallace, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Peterson, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Hey, I went to prison. I went to visit a prison in New Jersey that the Boston Strangler was held at.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Cameron Wallace, 8/13/96.
Thank you. You are here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of aggravated assault against a correctional employee, a Class 5 felony, and one count of criminal trespass, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to both charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on April 17th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on April 21st at 8:30. I am going to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
I do note from reviewing your information that you are not a resident of Arizona, but you do have to stay here until your first court date so that you can talk to that judge and see what orders can be issued regarding that, okay?
Can I fly back for that court date? I've got 2 babies at home.
So I will tell you what I was weighing. You would have a sooner court date if I imposed a bond then you would have a court date on April 8th.
Hey, that fool has a
and you
mullet.
see the judge sooner.
I think. It looks like he has a mullet.
Or you can be released on your own recognizance and stay here until you see the judge.
Does he have a mullet going on over there?
So April 17th?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it, a party in the back?
You have some release conditions, and that is that you cannot return to the scene of the crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the arresting officers Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court dates would result in your in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond being imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are promising to appear for your court date?
On the 17th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that takes care of everything that I have to advise you of. If you have no questions for me, you'll step to your left. Officer will give you your paperwork.
Something like that.
Ms. Peterson, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Fulgham, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Not anybody could rock a mullet.
Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jordan Peterson, 042703.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with one count of assault, a class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have an arraignment hearing on April 22nd at 9 a.m. I am releasing you to pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
I do.
You have the following release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim. You cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection that are issued, if there's an order of protection that has issued, you have to comply with the terms of that order. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the resident. You are permitted one civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or to appear for your court date will result in a warrant being issued for your arrest and a bond being imposed. That takes care of everything that we have to talk about.
We're in
If you have no
Arizona.
questions for me, if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
We're in Maricopa County, Arizona.
I think the gentleman that I needed to recall, I think he stepped out.
you will.
Did he leave? Okay.
What up, Tonka? Let's go, Dodgers. Let's go.
Mr. Fulgham, if you'll please come into the courtroom, and Ms.
Where's the Chargers?
Mendoza, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
I think it was some type of domestic
Hello,
violence.
sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yes, Dante Fulgham, 11/18/89.
You were here today on well, you have two matters. You have a new case and then a violation of probation. On your new case, you were charged with one count of possession of a narcotic drug, a class 4 felony, and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on April 17th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on April 21st at 8:30. I'm inclined to release you on your own recognizance. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes.
As to your violation of probation, I did appoint an attorney to represent you on that matter. You will have a probation revocation, possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. Again, I'm inclined to release you on your own recognizance with a promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear?
Yes.
You must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release, and you must appear for all of your court dates. If you fail to appear for your court dates or comply with release conditions, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Is that for a mechanic?
Ms.
Like a mechanic
Mendoza, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your last name incorrectly. If you'll please come into the courtroom. And Mr. Garcia, if you'll please have a seat in the chair.
Damn, they had a full roster today.
And then I need, where was it Mr. Who was the gentleman that I didn't complete?
Let's see. She looks kind of young. Let's see how old she is.
Okay, got it. Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Maya Mendoza, 12/2/97.
You were here today because you were charged with one count of exceeding the posted speed limit by over 20 miles per hour, a class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to that offense. Due to the nature of the offense, you are not entitled to a court-appointed attorney. You will have an arraignment hearing on April 22nd at 2 o'clock. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes.
Failure to appear for your court date will result in a warrant being issued for your arrest and a bond being imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so if there's no questions for me, yes.
Was I supposed to be Mirandized upon my arrest?
That's a legal question for when you get to court.
On the 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I'm supposed to be traveling to Texas tomorrow.
Nowhere.
Like flying for work. Is that going to be okay?
So your paperwork will tell you everything that you are responsible for, and if you need accommodations, your paperwork should have the phone number to the court that you're going to be at. So you should be following up with that court to see, because you're really not supposed to be leaving the state of Arizona. We have pending cases, but yours is a misdemeanor. So, but I would just advise you to contact the court that you're supposed to be in front of, just to make sure. Okay.
Yep. Hey, don't be speeding. Hey, you ever, there's certain states you can't be speeding. Arizona's definitely
Mr.
one of them.
Garcia, will you please come into the courtroom?
And this message has been brought to you by Collect Call James from You Have a Collect Call From.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Lawrence Garcia, April 3rd, 1992.
You were here today because a direct complaint was filed, charged you with 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The date of these alleged offenses is December 8th of 2020. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on April 17th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on April 21st at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Failure to appear for your court dates or to comply with your release conditions will result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and bond being imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have no questions for me, if you'll step to the left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Imagine that's why. Hey, so if you're ever speeding through Maricopa County and you end up over here, please give us a shout out, because we are going to be watching and we definitely need all eyes on us. So give us a shout out at Collect Call From. Let me see. Laughing out. Why ask laughing out loud and just say you did not know if they said it.
Okay, Mr. Pink, will you please come back into the courtroom?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
And tell your friends, if you're from Maricopa County
So
or Pima
while
County.
I had you wait, I went and reviewed some information.
Yes, ma'am.
Your warrant, according to you, you said you went into custody either at the end of 2017 or the beginning of 2018.
If I remember correctly, yes, ma'am. It's been a while ago.
So your warrant was issued on December 10th of 2018, so I believe you were likely in custody at the time that the warrant was issued. So I am amending the order to reflect that that has a note. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance, and the judge will know that you were in custody at the time that the warrant was issued. So you will have, so I do have to change some other things.
That's fine.
So
And everybody that was believing in me.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. This is the one time that something actually good happened to me in court.
You know how much it means to me. I promise I won't let you down, Judge. Hey, what up? How's it going, Kim?
I was surprised my parole officer hadn't completed parole successfully as of March 9th of this year, and nothing was said to me. My parole officer isn't even aware of this. And all of a sudden I fell asleep and woke up at a laundromat door on the street knocking on my window.
Okay, so I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on April 22nd at 9 a.m. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
I do.
Failure to appear for your court date will result in another warrant being issued for your arrest, and this bond is $682.
Yes, ma'am. I'll make
So if you
arrangements
do
for
that,
my work. I've got a good job. They work with me. I'll make arrangements for that day to have off.
we have plenty of time to get that sorted out. So if you'll go ahead and have a seat inside, they're going to bring you the corrected order.
Thank you.
Hey, what are the chances we'll see him back here? Well, let's start taking some. Let's start taking some bets. Will we see him back
John
here?
Beloit, date of birth, February 14th, 1998, is here for a warrant for failing to appear for a court date.
I got 50 on it.
He is not present in court due to non-compliant behavior.
1,000%.
I did appoint an attorney was already appointed to represent him. He will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. He will be advised that if he is able to post bond, he must appear for his court date, and that if he fails to appear, any bond that he posts would be forfeited. A warrant would issue for his arrest, and more bond would likely be imposed. I will meet with Mr. Beloit, and if any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. Mr. Thompson, date of birth, August 4th, 1989, is here for a violation.
Hey, what up,
He is
Southside?
also not present in court due to non-compliant behaviors. I did appoint an attorney to represent him in this matter. He will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on April 9th at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. He will be advised that if he fails to appear for his court date, that any bond that he posts would be forfeited, a warrant would issue for his arrest, an additional bond would likely be imposed. I will meet with Mr. Thompson, and if any any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. This concludes the 5 p.m. initial appearance calendar, and we stand in recess until 8 p.m.
Damn it. Damn it. Hey, somebody said turn my phone sideways. So I'm assuming you're not aware, but I do run multiple streams. I got one stream that runs in vertical, and I have another one that runs in landscape, if you will. There's no point in me running two streams that are landscape. I run one vertical, one landscape. Check out my profile, and don't forget to hit that follow button, if you will. 8 p.m., that's late for court. Not for Arizona. We got 8 p.m., and we still got the 11 p.m. And don't forget, we got Pima County at 7 p.m. So we got 7, 8, and 11. We still got 3 more courts for Arizona, if you will. Hey, and if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Are you out of your mind? You see Bingo's mom. I stand and rewind and watch because I miss most of it. Hey, Kayla. Yay. Let me see. Some comments in the live were filtered were filtered to protect the community experience. What kind of messages are you guys putting over here that TT has to protect the community experience? James, when do I get a mod badge? What the what? Man, we don't need no mods up in here. Everybody's pretty good. Nobody tripping, if you will. I'll see. I'll think about it. I'll let you guys know. Because then if I give you a badge, then I got to give everybody else a badge that shows up all the time. I got to be fair about this. You know, then people are going to get mad. And I love the TikTok shop. What the what? We don't want to go to jail, if you will. All right. See everyone in over an hour. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the... Man, it's already 5:49. When are you sending me money? Shee, what do I look like, a piñata? Let me see. No way. I'm next to my... You see, you got everybody riled up now. People, this Vato wants money. This Teresa wants a mod too. You see, I work at a criminal law firm, so imagine all those stories. Yeah, no, I'll be your one and only Welsh mod representing the UK. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, I love you guys, man. Where's my money? It's my money, and I want it now. Anyhow, hey, guys, don't forget to hit that follow button. If you're not following, highly appreciate you guys. Trying to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark, if you will. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. But I'll be back. And if I'm not back on TT, definitely come check us out on YT, because the stream will be running, if you will. I need my money in jail. Call JG Wentworth, if you will. What time will you be back? I don't know. Maybe 8, 11, 7. I don't know. I'll see right now. I'll see what's going on, because I gotta go do some stuff with my daughter and my wife, if you will. Anyhow, I do appreciate you guys. I am Collect Call James. You guys are watching. You have a Collect Call From, or at Collect Call From, to make it easier. And like I said, around here, what zone are you in? I'm in Pacific Time Zone, PST. I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a Collect Call From. And like I said, around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it slices out. And with that, we are out. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. What was the name again? It started with an N, I think. NG something. Like, you even put the little thing so we could read it out right. But you know, I got that attention span of a squirrel. Is that the YT up top? Yeah, that's it. That's all my social media streams. So if you type that in on Google, you can even go to my profile. Everything's on my profile. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. But to wives, thanks for the time. All right, I appreciate you guys. And with that, I'm out. Rato, and we're going to go ahead and do a toilet flush for good measure. Drop one, flush one.